Hey everybody, it's me, Gregory Mannarino. How are you today on this, I'm not going to say lovely, but interesting Monday? It's interesting for one very big reason, and we're going to talk about that here. November 12th, 2018. So the story today is as plain can be. It's the dollar. The dollar is strengthening substantially right now, and there may be something to this. I want to talk about that. Stocks are falling under pressure right now. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is down about 200 points as I am doing this video blog. Bond market is closed today, so you're not going to see too much action there. But just like I explained to you in the video that I did yesterday, Sunday, my markets, a look ahead segment, and I've been explaining this for a while. The dollar literally is the fly in the ointment here. The market does not like the dollar strength. Understand? For a million reasons that I've covered before, multinational companies involved in international trade, this is not good. And I mean, this is specifically why we have seen now for an entire decade the Federal Reserve artificially suppressing rates, keeping the dollar weak. Let me put another perspective on that for you real quick, because it's disgusting. And people just don't get it. They don't get it at all. The Federal Reserve, and this is not just the Fed, let me be clear, all world central banks who are working in concert together have done the same things for an entire decade since the meltdown of 2008. They have deliberately went out of their way to, I don't know the right word here, I guess punish anyone who wants to save cash. In other words, they've opened the door to risk. They didn't want anyone to be holding on to cash. That's why they suppressed rates. That's why they weakened the dollar and allowed, again, cash to flow into the stock market. So anyone that has been pretty much stuck in cash now for an entire decade has been under attack by world central banks, not just the Federal Reserve. Now, this has inflated a bubble in the stock market. It's very clear. And so when you hear anyone, and I mean anyone, talking about how the Federal Reserve is being aggressive or how the Federal Reserve should not be raising rates, you're listening to someone who wants you, or the middle class, to continue to be punished. All right? It should not be the job of world central banks to decide really for an entire decade to keep a risk-on environment going with no end in sight. Again, you have to look at this from a bigger picture. There's obviously something else going on under it, and we know what that is. The Federal Reserve, all world central banks are serial bubble blowers. Then they burst them. They blow them, then they burst them. Transfers wealth, transfers more wealth from the middle class to the upper end of society, the one percenters. That's just the way it is. Anyway, so going back to these markets. So this dollar strength right now is weighing on precious metals. I'm sure you are shocked to hear that. Cryptocurrencies are catching a bid here, but this is weighing on the stock market. Here's my, I don't want to say worry, but I would say concern, where I think we should be a little bit cautious here. And I will not be adding to any of my positions that I'm already holding. I mean, you can see every single one of my credit spreads right now, right on my website. They're all there, traderschoice.net, link in the description of this video, left side of the page. I did add to these positions, if you remember, last week. I'm not going to add to them today. The ones I have there, I'm not going to be actually touching any of them. If I do anything else, I will be adding completely new positions, but not now. I want to see what happens tomorrow. Here's the issue again. Dollar is getting stronger for some reason. Stocks are under pressure because of that. And there could be something else going on here. Again, the market is smelling something in my view. Could be a geopolitical thing, could be an issue with the China trade, crude oil. We don't know yet. But the market is reacting to something regardless of what because the bond market is closed, not doing anything today, but tomorrow. If we see a sell-off here in the bond market with the dollar doing what it's doing now, this is going to spell trouble for stocks. There is no doubt about it. So right now, we're kind of stuck. We got to watch what happens in the bond market. Again, look, people, I don't know how to put this another way. The bond market is a financial monster right now. It's in the biggest bubble that has ever been seen in the history of man and womankind. It's the truth. There's nothing like it. There's never been anything like it. Governments around the world are stuck in bed with their respective central bank, and they have no choice but to inflate. They can't stop. Once they stop inflating, that's it. Party over. We get an implosion. And I mean an implosion unlike anything that has ever been seen. Why? Because the debt market is in the biggest bubble that has ever been seen. So understand, we are on a knife's edge here, and we have to look at very specific aspects of this market for clues. You all know that, and I've been explaining to all of you since time immemorial that the big issue is going to start in the bond market. The gyrations here in stocks like we're seeing today, this is nothing. Stop watching the stock market to look for the big one, because you're not going to see it. Like I explained to you recently, it's like watching some dude crossing the street, watching the dude. Oh, he's just doing great. But you're not watching the freight train that's coming at him. You know what I mean? So you can't do that. You can't sit there and watch the stock market without putting in all of these other elements, all these other factors. They're just so important to keep your eye on. So again, watch that dollar. All right, something's going on here. Tomorrow, really watch the bond market, and I make this so easy for you. Go to my website, traderschoice.net. Again, link in the description of the video. Right side of the page, you got a bond market chart. Underneath that, you got the dollar chart. That's what's going to tell you where stocks are going to go. And I would have to say right here and right now, there is more like an orange flag being flashed across this market. It's not red. It's a little bit beyond yellow here with the dollar. And we have no idea of what's going to happen with this bond market here tomorrow. They're going to have to get in here and prop it up, or there's going to be a problem. And we'll see. They're probably going to prop it up. We see it over and over and over again. It's never failed yet. But again, things are changing, and they're changing rapidly. So let's keep our eye on it. It's that freaking simple. I will see you all at the end of the day. Bye.